Hello, European Confessions. I am back with another message. The message that I want to share with you, it was translated by one of our admins. The message reads like this. How are you, brothers and sisters? I did a sacrificial ritual for my business to blow up, which were not going well. But after I did this ritual, all of my family members started dying, and I am the only one who is left. I did all of this before I was married, when I was only 30 years old. When I got married, I was already involved into this sacrificial ritual. What happened is that, my brother, I did this ritual after my businesses had collapsed. I was only 25 years old when I was given money to start this business. My first business was of selling second-hand clothes. It was easier for me to get customers since I knew people who wanted them. I was able to buy a sewing machine. I bought about 40. I did a dressmaking course, so I started teaching people how to do this sewing until I realized that it wasn't really paying me that much money. So I dropped that business and I took people, I taught them how to sew and started sewing some clothes, curtains, blankets, and more things to sell. I started to see a lot of companies that wanted orders from my small company, which made my business to rise. Everything that I supplied was carefully checked to make sure that it was done correctly. I had become a business lady, so I was approached by guys with money as a businesswoman, but the problem was that some of them, they pretended as if they have money, yet they didn't have anything. They just wanted to score some of my money. I once fell in love with someone whom I bought a car and I was renting a house for, but I discovered that he had a family that he had left at home. When he was with me, he looked for a job where he was promoted and he was given a brand new car, but it was a small car. So I bought for him a Mercedes-Benz E400. In those days, I was using a Discovery. It was very expensive. I found out all of this through one of my clients when I had went to give him his parcel. He explained that he had seen us together in Steers and wanted to come, but he couldn't. And then he told me that this guy that I was dating had a wife back home. The guy had lied to me that he wanted to get married to me that year, and I was so happy that I had found a partner. Once I had known the whole truth, when I knew that this guy was just playing me, I had a stroke because I had realized that even when we had gone to see his family for the so-called introductions, we met his auntie, but the auntie that I was introduced to was actually a wife to one of his friends. I had a heartbreak that even at work things were not going well because I couldn't hold myself together. I later saw a therapist and who helped me to heal. When I started to see that this business was no longer making any profits, there were 2 trucks full of clothes which were not yet sold. I tried to call the clients, but no one answered. No one picked up my calls. I went to the other tailors. That's when I lost my strength to see that this business had already collapsed. I went to the companies that I was supplying before, and they said that what you have been doing is not good for our business. They had found other companies. They were dealing with other companies. I tried to reason with them, but we couldn't reach to any agreement. I told my parents and they just said that it is a phase and it will pass. In those days, that is when this other prophet was becoming popular, and I went to him to consult. He did this sacrificial ritual for me. In our house, since there were just the 2 of us, I just told him that I want to sacrifice my younger brother, and then he became mentally disturbed. The business started booming again. I started seeing all of my clients calling, asking me that they needed to make orders. I got new clients and everything was doing very well. Then I started to revive my business. All this started happening after we buried my younger brother. After we had buried my younger brother, after 3 months, that is then I was told that another blood was needed from any of my close relatives. I knew at home we were few, so I wanted to just sacrifice one person and leave it. But little did I know that it doesn't work like that. I went on as usual to becoming a business lady. I spent 6 years making money. When I was told that more blood was needed, I refused. Since I had made a lot of money, I no longer wanted to become part of this. I then started to see the destruction of my relatives. My mother got sacrificed. When she died, I got hurt so much. I went back to the prophet and I said to him, Why? Why did you do this to my mother? I said to him, I don't want to become part of this no more. He said, you can't stop what you have started. Since you refused to give us the blood, we took the blood by ourselves. This is a lesson to you. If you don't do as you are told, you will get hurt. He then proceeded telling me that next time a new fresh blood must be from a very young child because the blood of adults is very scarce. They need fresh blood. By then, I didn't realize that I was already pregnant. I didn't last 4 months. Then I had a miscarriage and they were twins. I was so hurt. I regretted why I had took part in this sacrificial ritual. After 8 years, my father started getting very sick, and I know him being sick has to do with these sacrificial rituals that I did. When I look at my family, now it is only my father, me, and my husband's child who are only left. It pains me the most, especially the miscarriage that I had. Those kids, I had loved them, and I was only 4 months pregnant, yet I didn't know that I was pregnant at that time. The first time when I went to visit him, he never told me about all of these sacrifices. I was only told that we are going to do this as a once-off thing and no more sacrifices will be needed. So many years now has gone by. My mother is gone. My brother is gone. Most of my relatives are gone. My father, very soon he will be gone because right now he is sick and he can die anytime. And I am the one who is going to be the cause of his death. And the babies that I was carrying when I had a miscarriage, those babies, they hurt me the most because I had loved them. But that prophet showed no mercy towards me. He said that if you are not willing to sacrifice, we are going to do it for you. Help me, my brother. I am the only one who is left. All of my relatives are gone. On the other hand, my men once followed me when I went to see this prophet and asked what was I doing there. And I lied to him saying that I wanted to consult and to find out what's happening in my family spiritually. He just agreed, but it was obvious that he has a lot of questions because of everything that is happening. My husband's son right now is sick. I don't know what to do. Help me, Wo. Dear listeners, right there was a message that I received from Anonymous. Then we had to translate it. Such a sad story, such a sad story. I'll be back with more messages.